Here we are, a very laid-back, chill, socially distant hang sesh for episode 200 of Evolving with Corey Castle. It's a little bit different than the last few episodes, considering it's in person. I'm hanging with my pals, a little bro down, a little bro episode.
You,
Stephen Dodson.
That was good.
Bro episode with Stephen Dodson and Christopher Boyd.
What's going on?
hello.
And, I figure, we'll just do like a cool hang, considering, we haven't been able to do it. We haven't been able to have any kind of friend time as far as like for podcasting. I told like everybody that I was like, I'm not gonna do any more in-person interviews or hangouts or whatever on the pod. I'm not calling this an interview at all because this is just kind of
This is more of it, but yeah.
But I was like, I'm not going to do any more until there's like a vaccine or a cure to COVID. But 200th episode, let's do it.
Yeah, man.
Exceptions need to be made.
Well, also considering the fact that all of us deal with each other pretty regularly. I think that our chances of, making each other sick are limited.
Yeah.
We're people who see each other on a pretty regular basis, considering the fact that, like, we work out in your basement and sweat and breathe all in the same place all the time.
Yeah. Definitely.
Plus, like, this dude lives in my house, so...
Yeah.
If he's going to get you sick, it's with his cooking.
Oh, yeah, imagine that, dude. I cook my ass.
There's been
a damn good cook.
I think you're on more episodes
That Joan
than
on
most
Instagram.
people. You're on more episodes than most people, just like walking by and commentating something. And I'm like, Chris, shut up. I'm in the middle.
Yeah, just
And you're like-
swing by.
And you're like, yeah, I'm like, this isn't a call-in radio show.
I wonder if I've accidentally become somehow like just an accidental background, like just noise or situation that's always happened on every episode. I'm not sure if in episodes like when I walk away and go, and here he is again, folks. He's done it again. You know what I mean?
He's a Snoop Dogg in Half Baked,
coming and taking the hits.
Yeah.
Except Long One, who's always got the weed.
Allegedly.
It's quite the opposite.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Dude, Ellie just made it into an episode recently. I was having a conversation with a woman, and she was standing right there where she is right now and going, like crying her head off. And I made a face, and then when we stopped recording, the woman was like, "Is there a baby crying? What's going on?" I'm like, "No, it's the roommate's cat right over
That's
there,
funny,
just
dude.
screaming at me."
It's funny.
She wanted some attention.
Yeah, I don't even understand why she does it, because she still does it when people are even here. But I don't know, man. I don't know if she hears like other animals out there or something.
Steve, did you give up on watching wrestling? Do you watch wrestling at all anymore?
No, I pretty much did give up, man. I think it was a little before COVID, but I tried to pick back up to see like what they would do with COVID, and it was far worse than I had remembered when I had initially stopped.
Did you see what they're doing now, like the Thunderdome and stuff?
I saw some commercials and stuff, and I've seen, like the NBA, they pumped in crowd noise, and
they have the screens now.
Yeah,
too.
they put the virtual fans up.
Yep.
So
it's pretty much the same deal that they're doing with wrestling now.
Yeah, I figured they were gonna do something pretty similar, but
I think it's kind of cool, man. I think honestly it gives it at least the closest effect to having a crowd without having a crowd, because you still hear a cheer, you still see faces in the background doing things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but it still isn't. It's not like having a live crowd, bro, at all.
It is the exact like ambient noise of the WWE 2K19 video game. I watched a video on YouTube where they like compared it. They were like, "Here's the ambient noise from 2019 video game." And here's what it actually sounds like.
I'm waiting for them to accidentally keep using like a loop applause.
Yeah.
Just, like, you know what I mean? Oh,
player one, player one.
Over. Yeah.
Right.
No, I I was a fan of wrestling during the Raw era, or what do they call that? The
Attitude Era.
Attitude era, yeah.
As evidenced by the fact that you've been calling yourself the Great One since 1998.
First of all, I don't call myself the Great One. Everyone else calls me that, and then I just refer to myself as that
as the Great One,
because that way they know who they're talking to.
Right.
That's all that is.
It's only in reference to when other people talk about you, right?
Right, exactly. Yes.
He just walked in the door.
That, dude.
He just walked in the door here, and he went, "The Great One's here."
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
I cannot confirm nor deny.
Yeah.
But I tried to watch again for a little while. My kids were into it. And then as they got older, they liked it less. And considering they weren't going after my demographic anymore anyway, it really didn't. There's so many things to watch.
You should tell Lana.
Like Bruce, go watch Bruce.
You should tell Lana to Google Roman Reigns' teeth.
Why?
Check it on YouTube, Bruce.
He got like veneers during
really?
quarantine. Like bored millionaire just got veneers. Like his teeth look ridiculously fake. Like
Wait, who was it?
Roman Reigns.
Could are you kidding me?
Could it have something to do with the fact when he got chemo that like his bones got brittle?
Yeah, I mean, his teeth were falling out of his face, and he just had to get them.
Yeah,
they could
possible.
He
looks like
especially for chemo. Bro.
Matthew Dillon from Something About Mary
Chiclets?
when he got
chiclets.
He's
got chiclets teeth.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that guy can't catch a break, man.
Oh man,
He just can't, dude.
I mean, he's a millionaire
With the craft.
I mean, that's a break.
Oh, well, yeah.
He's doing
all
okay.
right. We'll give
He's
him the
doing
cash.
okay.
The cash is, you're right.
He's really good looking, and he's incredibly jacked.
We'll
He
give
can't
him-
catch a break, that
Yeah,
guy.
but you know what I mean. At least in wrestling, and then the teeth.
No other breaks besides millions of dollars.
Being
But they
born
always had to,
into
like,
the
pull him
family
up to
that
be
is
some big
known
star
for
in
wrestling.
wrestling.
And,
Right, being cousins with The Rock.
yeah. What do you do with that connection? I mean,
I didn't
about
even
me,
think
it's
of the leukemia connection. I didn't think of it
Yeah,
that way.
that
I mean,
makes
the
sense.
bones getting brittle from chemo. That didn't even pop into my head. But I mean, that's a really good point. I think.
Definitely.
it's because I'm more empathetic. Than
Yeah,
you,
I guess
James.
I'm so apathetic. You're empathetic while I'm apathetic. All I'm doing is searching for the joke.
Consider other people's feelings.
I know,
Corey.
I'm just a
Imagine
big
that,
old
right?
jerk.
If anybody knows anybody about our relationship, I'm the asshole in the bunch. Corey is
Yeah,
the
it's quite the
yeah.
No. Let him believe this narrative.
It's the giggling while all this is being said.
Let's change the narrative. The narrative is I'm the apathetic one
Okay.
who doesn't think about other people's
Selfish
feelings.
and-
Right, super selfish guy over here.
All
right?
about fulfilling his own. Yes.
Always.
It's about getting
Yeah,
myself
yeah.
over. Why do you think I put my name in the title of the podcast?
Yeah, exactly. That kind of stuff.
Yeah, nothing wasn't ever taken from him that he didn't freely give.
Real spo.
Well, I want to give you an opportunity to spow a little bit. We worked on a movie recently, Bruce. So I want you to sort of tell me about some of the things that you were feeling.
Yeah, man.
Oh, you're turning
During
this
the
into
film.
like
You know
an
what?
interview on me.
Yeah,
Is that-
let's do this,
Okay.
dude.
Okay, let's do this.
That's a really good idea, brother.
Specific
Thanks,
parts
brother.
do you want to?
I want to know about your feelings. I want to know about when you first read about the script and you decided that you wanted to be the lead. Like, what were the feelings involved in before it and during the shooting?
The first conversation about Bruce was the three of us sitting in your in your living room.
Yeah, that was the first.
That
time
was
we
the
all met
first
together,
time
right?
we had any
Yeah.
conversation about it.
We decided to do it.
And I said in my head, I'm going to be Bruce.
Okay.
That day, I was like, I'm gonna knock this volleyball out of the park.
Call back to 90%. I like it.
Yeah, because it was like every time we talk about like collaborating in some way, I always go like, I kind of want to flex my acting chops here. You know, and I want to get better. Like that's my.
I mean, yeah, especially with being what you do specifically, it works perfectly. You write and direct and you act, so that's just perfection right there.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I think
just makes sense.
with any of it, like with podcasting, with comedy, with acting, with wrestling, it's like I just want to get really good. Like not that I want to steal the spotlight anywhere. It's that I just want to make something that gets me better at it. That helps me make.
Did you ever have any doubts that you'd be able to pull it off?
No.
None.
No.
Never.
No, I was actually pretty mad that you were considering somebody else for it.
Okay.
I think.
Well, I think you always are.
Well, so there was a point in time where you thought he was thinking about somebody.
Well,
and
he knows I was.
Right, and then
and I was mad about it.
yeah, okay.
He was also mad when I was considering someone else.
Do you
for
feel
Wally.
like it was kind of like, yo, bro? I mean, it's
Right.
obvious
When
who
we're
should be the guy.
I was
who
like,
does it.
I was like, yo, I'm Corey Castle, dude. That motherfucker ain't nobody.
It's obvious, motherfucker, right? Fuck it. What is this fool doing?
It's like that can't be the first thing on this guy's resume. Like to be like the title character in a short film. F him. I need that.
Yeah. Okay. So, what were some of your favorite parts of filming?
Being freezing was my favorite part.
No, that's not being truthful.
What parts that cracked me up was having all those fake tattoos on and then being up on that train track and watching my goosebumps come through the fake tattoos and ruining them.
It was cold, bro.
Yeah, it was
cold.
Super cold. It was the coldest I'd ever been in my life. But I don't know. I think my favorite part was us watching it together after it was over, like after we were done with it. Probably recording the voiceover stuff with you and Matt. That might have been the most fun because while we were shooting it,
sort of like
busy.
had a writing, a rewriting.
Right,
You're not really throwing ideas and hanging out as much as like that's like when you're doing those records, you guys are really like vibing together and hanging out as well as working. You know what I mean?
But also when I was in it, I kept like trying to get myself in a deep dark depression place that like I don't normally like to dwell there.
Right.
So I had to, look back on it later on. So like the post-production sort of stuff was almost my favorite more than the acting itself. I did really enjoy it. I liked the connectivity with some of the people who came along. Like I didn't really know every single person there, but I liked hanging out with Josh on set. I liked that a lot. I liked laughing at the fact that the lady's shoes were too big for her. The lady, ice cream, it's 20 degrees, and she can't walk because her shoes are too big.
Yeah, that was a good one. She brought shoes that were like 4 times too big for her feet, so she just like had to drag her feet the whole time
on like cobblestones.
Yeah, Yep. That was like one of the best parts. Cobblestone, the blood. Spoiler alert.
I'm hoping anybody who would listen to this. Honestly, dude, I think maybe 15 people will listen to this.
That's shooting high.
Yeah, he's projected, right?
Yeah,
I was just gonna say. I think he's projected.
Maybe 10 people will.
15 people.
Dude, I know, but honestly, I just listened to. I'm a real big fan of Dax Shepard's podcast, and
he seems like he's a chill dude. He's just like a good dude.
Yeah, he seems that way. I guess.
Yeah.
Like from the.
I don't know who the hell he really is, but yeah, he seems
from the multiple episodes of his that I've listened to. Like I subscribe, listen every week.
Yeah,
and he had a woman on who's like I don't even remember what she was, like an author or like child development person,
right?
And she was like, "Oh, this is a much bigger scale than what I do." She's like, "Oh, my podcast that I record, I just got 500 down. I just had to like just a scrawny 500 downloads," and I was like, I would die for 500 downloads. I don't know what you...
Yeah.
Don't undersell it.
Well, I think
Where do you get those?
Like, yeah, throw those 500 downloads my way, bro.
You know, if I were to say something, Corey, is that I think you're one of the areas that you could work on is sales. I think you have a lot of talents in different aspects, but I really think that you lack the sales, vibe. Or whatever the
Or more so, you mean a marketing?
So the
Not so much
ability
sales, but
to
marketing.
put pressure...
To marketing himself.
Marketing is sales.
Yeah, it's the same exact thing. Yeah.
So the bottom, like when Bruce first came out, okay, and we were trying to get just people to watch it, okay, it's hard to get people to do anything.
Man.
So to get them to spend time is, absorbently
5 minutes
difficult,
whatever,
regardless of how much time it is. So you have to push. And that's what sales is about. It's about asking again, asking more sternly, now demanding, now following up, and now saying, there is no reason you haven't done so.
I feel like I got blocked by a couple people because of how much I pushed that way.
Right.
Because I stayed
that will
on that.
happen.
And
Is that what you're at?
I did.
That
Yeah,
will happen.
I was like, hey, have you watched it yet? Hey, have you watched it? Hey, why haven't you watched it? It went from why have you watched it? Have you watched it? Why haven't you watched it?
And then
because
I
it's
think
like
even one was
if
like,
you
it's
have
only
it,
15 minutes,
if
dude,
you
like-
have it, it's only 15 minutes
Of your life.
And if you don't like it, you can have 15 minutes of my time because we work really hard on this and it's quality stuff. And that was like, honestly, like I lost some friends because.
Well, see, now that's the thing. You didn't lose any friends.
Yeah, not friends. You lost,
Because
people,
the bottom
or
line is
whatever.
anybody who's worth anything would have spent the time to do it in the first place. So you didn't lose anything. You are gaining nothing from that relationship to start with.
Right.
But the bottom line is, the people that generate more is because they ask more. That is sales, dude, and that's marketing or whatever else you want to call it. It's all sales. Branding, it's sales. It's how many phone calls can you make to contacts, to pitches, to what's the old saying? Pitch, sale, upsell, or no, pitch, close, upsell, repeat. Do it again. That's what you got to do. So if you want 500 downloads, you need to find your base and make them download.
Get on it, motherfuckers.
That's what you got to do.
You heard that, bass.
Well, my point was only that she was underselling how unimportant 500 people. Like I was like, that's 500 people. That's not.
Well,
that's
she's looking at it in a much bigger scale.
Probably because she was on Dax's podcast, and Dax is in the top 40 podcasts.
Yeah, she's
I mean,
looking at
he's
way
in the top,
broader horizon.
Top 5 of all podcasts. I'm like, top 40 would be a humongous get and a big dream.
Top. What did you say? Top 5? You think he is, or top?
Oh
10?
yeah.
Top
He's
5?
he's in the top 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
Top 5 as far as like downloads, like people listening.
Wow, yeah. Okay. That's cool.
Did you listen to the Miley Cyrus episode of Rogan?
Yeah, sure. Did that. I listened to that one, and I just listened to the Tyson one too.
I listened most of the Tyson.
Yeah, it was really good.
Well, I mean, same thing with film. I watch a show on YouTube called Film Riot, and they have like 2 million followers. And he's always talking about how low budget and how small his company is, and I'm like, dude, do you have any idea what I can do with 2 million viewers?
Yeah, right.
And the guy is stupid talented. I mean, just outrageously talented. But for whatever reason, hasn't even tried to make a feature film yet.
Yeah.
Just made like 5 or 6 short films,
all
as
really,
well
really
as
good, though, right?
as well as hundreds of episodes of DIY film school, basically how to be a filmmaker.
Man,
really,
One of the one of my actor friends that I know through Carly, him and I just had a long talk about Film Riot, and I talked about how you got a lot of knowledge through them. From like going.
I'm YouTube University, baby. Everything I wanted to learn how to do.
You can learn
YouTube
a lot
University,
man.
man.
You can learn a lot there, dude.
Oh my God, you have no idea. I go on there. I watch videos about Tarantino writing and he would give tips on his writing style and how he would write.
How he does it and everything.
I mean, and it's Steven Spielberg and how he opens and closes things.
There's people who have a lot of different passions for a lot of different things, and they're willing to take the time to show you their passion.
Yeah,
and then you can learn from that. You know what I mean?
For free.
And it's awesome. It's really, really cool.
I mean,
that's one of the greatest things I think that came out of YouTube itself, aside from all the other bullshit. You know what I mean? But like aside from that, like just being able to have that. It's pretty cool, man.
I look at it as I can spend an hour watching reruns of Impractical Jokers.
Yeah, right.
Or I can watch an
that's
hour.
on 24 hours.
Yeah, or I can watch an hour of education.
Something
of something that could make me better at what I enjoy doing.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Yeah. Makes more sense.
Have you watched a lot of conspiracy theory videos on YouTube, Steve?
No.
I stopped being
a conspiracy theorist in my teenage years.
Yeah.
I was one back then.
I did back in the day too.
Yeah,
I was pretty good with it.
I quit that stuff and realized there is no Shadowlands.
But when you were a teenager, YouTube didn't exist. There was way more. There was way less information.
Even if not really, it's like Shadowlands. That even if there's other things I need to be worrying about in life besides that bullshit. You know what I mean? That's what I was like. Just like even that shit's going on. It's just like, dude, you have a normal life. You just should just be taking care of that stuff instead. Worried about that instead of what possibly.
Well, that's what they want.
That's
what they want, Chris.
Consume. They live.
Eat. Consume.
Reproduce.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 5 families and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean,
Bilderbergers, Goldman Sachs,
Rothschilds.
Yeah. I mean, there's truth to most of that stuff. It's just
there is reality.
It's all blown out of proportion to skew your view on things.
Yeah.
It's control. It's power. You know, words are powerful as long as you give them power.
What about like theories around 9/11?
What about
like that? Those kind of videos. Like
I watched a ton of those.
Yeah, I've gone.
I 100%.
I've gone down those rabbit holes.
In 100% believing that it was not done the way they said it was done. It was all like that's just I don't care what anyone says. That's what I stick with that. I just watch too much stuff to like I can't. It's just crazy, dude. There's just so
Educate
many
me.
facts. As far as like some of the stuff.
Tell me what you think.
I just like as far as how they talked about how steel melts at certain rates and how flash burn from jet fuel it flares out so quick it doesn't even jet fuel is made so it goes woof, and that's how you get ignition, that's how you get burst, that's how you get speed. So when it's lit it goes woof, and it's not gonna raging fire. You need a raging fire to melt steel, and those beams were melted, dude, completely melted, and in a very short time, very short time for a building to come down. And then on top of some of the other videos, when you see like they have videos that are now like they actually do show.
So
what
let me
ask
you
this.
this.
Down below.
Chris, let me ask you this. So let's go down that rabbit hole that you're saying that it was an inside job,
right?
What's the end game?
That's the stuff I can't answer that stuff.
Well, it started a war
because
it justified the means for war.
I mean, I can speculate on stuff. But
I always tell people follow the money.
Yeah, if anything, cash. Yeah, dude, it's always all about money, dude.
So that's really what it was about: was being able to start a war.
Well, I mean. For me to even say, I would have to specifically look into why it was. I mean, at the time, they were trying to say that it was done, because the UN agreement has not been signed by a certain 7 countries, and those countries were Iran, Afghanistan, Syria, and all the countries that we've been trying to go to war with since the beginning of all this happening. and they needed a greater reason to have to be able to go over there and start taking over their lands and have an excuse to walk in and promote democracy over in lands where we shouldn't really be.
So the idea was to get the money from them.
No, they want them to sign the UN agreement. Once they do so, then they can. Then what they're trying to. This is I'm only going off what they're trying to say about. Then they can try to claim a new world order.
Yeah, but it's
once everybody signs the UN agreement.
I mean, everybody knows everything is about money.
Yeah.
So if they were going to start a war, it was about the end game is being able to get the money. Like, I'm a big believer.
It's not even so much money. I think it's because they already have the money, bro. I think it's more so about control. I think they want control. These families already have money. They're already loaded. There's already a 1% of the America that is way more wealthy than everybody. They have the money.
Oh, of course.
So I think that if anything, they want more so power than anything right now.
Money is power.
Because yeah.
Money is power.
But,
money is power.
Once you have money,
time is money. Money is power. Power is pizza.
Evil men who want things in this world, like those people in this world who are like, I want to conquer, I want to be out. You know what I mean? Those men who finally have, I have all the money.
Why is it always men? Are you a sexist?
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Individual
sexist. Yeah. But no, I mean like that's just what it seems to be, man. Like that would be the next phase. They already have all the money. Now they just want everybody to either believe what they believe or have their own ideologies or fall in line for whatever sick belief, ideology, or whatever it is that they have. You know what I mean? There's a lot of twisted people in this world, man.
Sure.
Now, like I said, I don't think about any of that stuff. But
yeah, I mean, dude, we got our lives to live. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro. Yeah,
we got bills to pay. We got
yeah, dude.
We got.
Yeah,
I'm gonna break into a Jules song right now. Oh, man.
So, but tell me this, Court. What do you have any 5-year life goals that you want to accomplish right now?
Yeah, I want to. Honestly, I would like to get it. I'd like to break the top 40 of podcasts.
And you think that's possible in the next 5 years?
For sure, yeah. Okay. Because honestly, I think everything I'm doing, and I've said this a million times. I've probably said it to you. I feel everything I'm doing is feeding the other things. So, right. Like, I want to get great at comedy. Anybody who sees me do comedy is going to come back to the podcast. I want to get great at acting. Anything that I act on will feed back to the podcast. And the audience for the podcast will listen to the comedy and follow the pie all comes back. So I'd like, honestly, to get like a major, like a principal role on a TV show.
But if there's all those things feed each other, is there any one of them that you still feel like you may need to pursue or push and more energy into?
No. I feel like it's all a collective effort. I don't.
Okay.
I don't think any one is any less important than the other ones. I mean, I think right now my wrestling is I put that aside for a while and made that less of a priority, and now I feel like I can sort of make that important again.
Right.
But not
but
as.
I mean, like, say, all right, say if you're, because my idea is if you're concentrating a healthy amount on a whole bunch of things, do you think it would be wiser to concentrate a lot on one single thing, achieve that, and then all those other things? Like, say, comedy, for example. Mm-hmm. Concentrate on comedy, become a good comedian. Through becoming a famous comedian, then you have the face and people know you to then have a successful podcast.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
I do get what you're saying.
That.
I do. You're talking about becoming a laser.
Yeah,
instead of lights being scattered everywhere.
Right. Do you think that would benefit you more into achieving your goal faster, or do you think it would be better if you still concentrated on, each one? Are you hindering yourself in any manner or shape or form?
Well, I'm not big on defining myself and really fitting myself into any boxes.
Right.
So if me, genuinely myself, pursues these things, I'm not fake about any of the things that I want to do.
Right.
So I feel like if I'm giving up on other things for one thing, I'm being less me.
Okay.
I got to be me, dog. Like, that's just how it is. I feel like those are all just avenues in which the multifaceted diamond standard that is Corey Castle.
I feel similarly. People, have often asked me similar questions, and it's like, do you want to focus on writing? Do you want to focus on directing? Do you want to focus on whatever? Because I do so many different things, and I have done so many different things throughout my life. I just say, like, I just want to be better than I was yesterday at whatever it is that I want to do today.
Okay.
And I might not want to do that tomorrow.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's like a thing I said about wanting to start the show, wanting to start doing this podcast, was I was like, oh man, I started writing a book when I was like 20. And I hadn't accomplished anything. Like, my name didn't mean anything.
So in essence, what you felt like, what would you write about?
Right. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to keep writing this book until I'm somebody and I can release it. But then I was like, what if by the time I'm somebody, I don't agree with the things I said when I was younger, and I've already published this?
Yeah.
Then people will go, hey, I don't agree with what you said here. I'm like, I don't agree with it either. You know what? Instead, I'm going to have an audio. Audio is the new literature. I'm going to have an audio outlet where if I said something I don't agree with, I have next week to say, man, I'm flexible on that. It's all ever evolving.
Well, I tell people all the time, with new information, you have the right to change your mind. So, if you voted a certain way and you, made a mistake, it's okay. You have new information now. And it's okay to change your mind. And that's true for anything. You might have felt a certain way way back when, and then somebody said something that opened your mind to a new way of thinking.
Yeah.
And now it's okay to...
Constantly changing.
Yeah. It's okay. I felt that way with Black Lives Matter. Mm-hmm. When Black Lives Matter first came out, years ago, I was, no, it's all lives matter, and then they, started the Blue Lives Matter and all this other stuff. And it wasn't until maybe 4 or 5 months ago, I don't remember exactly what the catalyst was, but something changed my mind as to what they were saying. And they really weren't saying Black Lives Matter. They were saying Black Lives Matter too.
Yeah, it's not, we're not saying I'm not a part of it, but I'm saying the message isn't Black Lives Matter and nobody else's do. Treat us like our lives matter just as much as yours do.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. So my thoughts originally were anti, and it was all lives matter. Mm-hmm. And then with this newfound information, I was like, oh, okay, so you guys just picked the wrong words. Mm-hmm. It's actually Black Lives Matter too. And yes, I agree with you. There is racial, systemic racial issues that we got to deal with. And I don't want to deal with them. I'm sorry that you had to deal with them and still have to deal with them. And hopefully we can work together and, get that to change. So my opinion had changed on that because of newfound information. So that was, my point with that.
I really am curious about navigating being a father and a role model through things like that. What our culture has become in America. How do you
like to be a father?
No, I'm talking about. No,
so.
I don't want to be a father. I'm talking about more anybody. For like, what kind? How do you navigate that as someone who has two teenage girls, and kids in their 20s?
Yeah.
How do you navigate that going like, well, this is what the world is now? And
I mean, me personally, I actually have a lot of conversations with all my kids, and I sort of ask their opinions on things, and I ask them why they believe certain ways, and I try to have peaceful debates on where our views different, on things.
Right.
To the point where we can both still have, dinner together and we don't hate each other. But we can at least have our conversations on why we feel a certain way. And my hope is I get that one piece of information that they didn't know that all of a sudden changes their mind and opens it up.
Or one of those things that you regard valuable info they finally do as well.
Right.
yeah,
Right.
I was going to say, how do you react when you find something that you didn't? Like if they open your...
Oh, I love it.
Right.
There is nothing more satisfying to me than that moment when anybody, anywhere, whether it's YouTube, in person, on a phone, says something that changes my outlook.
What if it's like one of the people that you made? How crazy is that? I made you, and you just changed my mind about something. That's got to be a real...
Yeah, I mean, it's happened.
Yeah.
It's happened. I mean, I love it. It's a great feeling, and like I just sit there and I smile, and I'm like, I never thought about that. Mm-hmm. That is a really good point, and I need some time to reflect.
They're smart.
On that.
They're smart girls.
Yeah.
They're teenagers. They're smart. They've got some stuff figured out.
Yeah,
I mean, it was funny. Good. It's funny that I had a moment with Alana the other day when I was like, I'd hate to be the kid that winds up having you as their mom with like how impatient you're being about something, and she's like, no, my kids are going to be great, whatever. Like went into a whole thing, and I was like, yeah, they're great until they like start like taking you for granted for stuff. And then she's like, that's not going to happen. My kids are going to be great. And then she started yelling at Jocelyn. She's like, I had to wake up at 6 a.m. to take you to work, and then that screwed up my whole day, and you didn't even thank me for it. And I'm like, see what I said? I just said that right there. I said the kids are take you for granted, and she was like, shut up. But it's cool to watch little examples of that with you and the girls, where it's like, where I'm almost like turning into a mediator, where I'm like, Steve, why don't you tell me about what's going on with you and the girls? And then they'll be like telling me about how mad at you they are about something. Yeah. And I'm like, it's just everybody unbox it. Let me know what's going on.
All my kids, though, will tell you, they're mad at me for the short term. In the long term, they thank me above and beyond.
Yeah,
he was like, let me break down the employer-employee relationship.
Yeah,
and then he started saying that, and they were like, yeah, but we're your daughters and you're our dad. It's different. He's like, when the boss says the thing. Like, I don't know if it works that way, Steve.
They learned. Because guess what? No dishes in that sink.
Wait. Honestly, it was like you had taken their phones away from them for the entire
24 hours.
24 hours.
And the second
to the minute,
I was sitting there at the table when you handed them their phones back.
Was that like hell on them? Did they hate it?
And we had a conversation. We were just sitting there talking for like another 30 minutes, and they never looked up from their phones.
Yeah,
like
it was crack to a crackhead.
It was like they had just did a 10-year bid in the county jail.
Yeah,
and you were
contacting all the homies.
No, like it was like you're feeding somebody who just did time.
Just got something. Yeah, just got something new.
Somebody who was starving.
Right. But it's like so much like dopamine. Like there's so much.
I've had the conversations.
Trained.
You wouldn't
lab rats.
That was the moment when
the sound alone.
I had a conversation with my friend Ash, and we were talking about psychological stuff. We were talking about dopamine. We were talking about food and like car sales. I used to sell cars. And like what a lot of people don't realize is that when a car salesman gives you water, you think, oh, that's nice. This guy's giving you water. What your brain is telling you, is that this person is nourishing you. He is taking care of you, and therefore you need to listen to him. Yeah. So when he's selling you all the shit, you buy. That's what it is.
So a warming and inviting way to
So we had this whole conversation about sales and about food and nutrition and all these things. We were talking about how to capitalize on people, and we were talking about dopamine releases and emails and Facebook bings and all that stuff. And I ended up taking that information, the stuff I didn't know, back to my daughters, and I was showing them in real time as things were happening to them through their phone. And what's happening in their brain?
When they would perk up and look around, you'd be like, see what's happening?
And I would say, look, you see the eyes, the eyes, how they dilated right there? I was like, that right there is dopamine getting released into your brain. Exactly, and they hated knowing the truth.
It became a drug. It literally became a drug at that
point. They hated it. They were like, I hate
Turned
you.
them into junkies instantly right then and there.
I was comfortable not knowing all that stuff, Dad.
I'm like being an ignorant asshole.
Put a belt around their arm and put their phone by the belt. Here you go. How do you feel now, you little junkie? Slam the phone into the corner of their arm. Yeah,
but like exactly honestly, like we're not immune to it either. I mean,
no,
I could, dude.
But the
I
more
can
you
totally
know,
do without my phone. Though.
I look at my phone every time I'm peeing. Every time I'm peeing, I have to look at my phone. Like it's just a thing I always do. Dude. Always like, well, I'm pissing. Now I got to pull my phone out and look at it while I'm
autopilot. Your brain goes into autopilot.
Well, the thing is, like, we've been trained to believe that when you're sitting in a chair, you're bored.
Mm-hmm. Well, we don't know how
do you have to be bored.
We don't know how to be bored.
Just be happy being with you. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, why is it? What's so boring about sitting in a chair? You're just are, dude. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So we've been taught that you need a phone, something to pass the time, and you don't, dude. Once you become, the only reason I think people need to pass the time is when they need to get outside themselves, and I think we as a people need to get ourselves too much. I think, so, and that's one of the main reasons why they're so popular. People have to pay attention to themselves.
So, as a parent,
or other people.
As a parent, what has been the most difficult thing to explain to your kids? Like, in what event in the world?
Maybe something that happened to us that didn't happen to them?
It's probably the relationship between their biological mother and I. Mm-hmm. And we hate each other.
How to make them understand that, maybe? That you guys can't get along?
How do you can't talk bad about the other brand.
Yeah. No, you're right.
You can't talk about the other person. You can't talk bad about the other brand.
Well, right.
When you're selling cars, you can't say Honda
can, but
suck.
Any respectful person wouldn't. Let's put it that way.
You have to do it. No.
Any respectful person wouldn't.
No, it's not that. It's like when you insult the other brand, you're actually insulting the person who's considering buying it. So if you come into a dealership to buy a Hyundai,
yeah.
Let me finish. So you come in to buy Hyundai, and I tell you, you're also looking at a Honda. Right. And I tell you, listen, bro, you're an idiot for thinking about a Honda. They suck.
Right.
All right? You should buy this Hyundai, and here's why. You take offense to that because I just said you're an idiot because you're considering buying a Honda.
Right.
Okay, now I say
that... would you have to tell the person they're an idiot for considering, or could you just tell them that Honda sucks?
Psychology. It's psychology.
What they're thinking, you mean.
Right.
How they're going to feel about it.
When you bash that brand, you're calling them an idiot. So when I talk to my daughters and I bash the brand of their biological mother.
Well, I think it's even more relatable because it's their mother. You know what I mean?
So they take offense to that
Yeah.
because I'm bashing that brand. So I have to do everything I can to not bash that brand, but explain to them why I hate this fucking woman, and I hope all accept death on her.
Well, yeah, dude, it's divisible. You know, it's very. You know what I mean?
It's almost like meaning she doesn't deserve the sweet release. Of
Yes, exactly.
Holy shit, dude! I'm sorry I had to read into that, but
Corey opened up Pandora's box.
I'm sorry I had to read into that, but I heard that loud and clear right there.
No, but I mean, it's divisive. It really is. Like
He
I
wasn't
remember
just canceling it out.
when I was a kid.
Oh man!
Like when my dad would talk shit about my mom,
Terrible.
I would hate it. I would hate it
Yep.
so because like I had such an allegiance to her.
Right.
Like she brought me into this world. And
Yep.
she taught me what unconditional love is. And here you are telling me that she's bad and she's an idiot when I respect her with my entire life.
Yep.
I owe her everything I am, and you're trying to cause a divide in that, and it's hard for me to. I don't want to take a side in that, and I mean I can imagine it being even worse because my dad never talked about hating my mom for sure.
Right.
But I mean,
Well, again, I don't in person either.
My mom never talked down my dad.
It was absolutely the hardest thing because my wife, who also dislikes my ex, we'll say that word, often shows it, and I have to correct her into not, showing that, not expressing it.
Yeah, you could
It's a
tell the
read the
disgust
room
in her
sort of
face or
situation.
something.
Yeah. So with me, trying to explain it to young children without bashing the other brand, it's a very difficult thing to do. So you often just acknowledge things, you bridge the conversation, and then you change the subject on something that's more positive. And I found that worked for the first 15 years.
well, I mean, when it becomes a little bit more unavoidable, like when your life gets in disarray, and it's due to something that you already know is responsible, like fully.
You've already
on that
canceled that
third
whole
party
situation out of your life.
on
You
that
know what I mean?
third
And-
party when they're watching you suffer,
Yeah.
and you're struggling to not say she's the reason, your bitch mom is the reason. Like,
Yeah.
how do you get there then?
You have to pray to whatever God you believe in. And for me personally, it's believing that I'm taking the higher road, that karma in the end, the universe will
Things are going.
it will come. It will come.
And there's a lot of his rubbing grubby paws together, dreaming
Yes.
about her demise. Probably,
I am definitely that villain
You're
in
a
the
huge-
movie
yeah.
that
Great
taps
imagination helps
taps
as well.
the finger together and
yeah,
smiles
yeah.
and tilts his head,
Yeah,
laughing maniacally. That is
Next
me.
time, guys.
Twirling his mustache.
Yeah. Only I'm the protagonist in my story.
Well, everyone's the protagonist in their own
story.
story.
Yeah, no shit.
That's the key to a good villain is believing that you're the protagonist.
Okay. I guess that's why I do it.
So, Chris, I have never in my last 36 years of my life heard someone talk about how much they love their life as I have recently with you saying it.
Yeah, man. It's been
Drop
really
some
good.
knowledge.
I'm just finally back in work and everything, dude. You heard me bitching and moaning on and off over the past couple months. Oh, I was going nuts, dude. I'm going nuts, sitting here. I want to get back to work. And a friend of mine offered me a full-time job painting. So, dude, I love it, man. Love it.
I'm happy, man.
Yeah, dude, it's awesome.
I'm glad to see you doing well. And
yeah, dude, I feel great, man. Just like
yeah, dude. What, do you just drop like 20 pounds?
easy.
Yeah. It's like
20, 25 something.
I see. It's like it's written all over you.
Yeah,
You know
good
what I
stuff, man. It's
It
gonna
always
continue
feels
to
great
happen,
when you lose 15.
Chris kept like wanting to do another episode of the show. He wanted to do another episode of the podcast, and I go, no, just do some more evolving. We'll come back to you.
Yeah, that's what he said. He's like, we'll get back to you.
We'll have my people reach out to your people when they think you've done enough evolving since the last time you were on.
And I gotta say, it's especially even since that last statement, a lot of changing's going on since then.
Yeah.
Definitely, dude.
Because you
Working out
kept
all the time. And,
you kept
man,
you kept
I'm
going
loving
like
it. I'm super happy.
walking through the living room and be like, when can I do another episode? Let's
I think that had a lot to do with my boredom as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Trying to fill some time.
Yeah, I mean, it's.
And then
Do you
I worked so hard this week that when he asked me if I wanted to do it, I was like, well, I'm not sure which day I can do it, dude. Yeah, I went from can I do one to like, well, and then today he's like, hey, what's your time? I'm like, all right, well, can we do a little later? I just got home, dude. You know what I
I'm
mean?
setting everything
I'm
up.
so
And you're like, what time are we doing
working.
this? I'm like, Steve's sitting here. We're doing it now.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if you still had to set up for a little while, but yeah, I mean,
yeah, man.
good thing is I live here. So I don't have
What
to
did
worry
I
about-
what did I say to you when you
just
like
wanted to go.
stayed out the other like last week or something?
What
did I say- what did I
Look
say
at
to
you
you?
getting a life or some shit. Such a dick statement.
I've been saying get a life, dude. I've been saying get a life. Of course, go get a life.
Stop sitting in your room, Netflix, and smoking weed, dude. There's other things to do in this world.
Stop
Play video games and
Stop
smoke a pot.
taking medicine.
Yeah, hey man, it is medicine. But yeah, dude. Yeah, I'm loving it, dude. It's good stuff, dude. I'm super happy to be working again,
Good.
and I actually super enjoy my job, man. Super real labor intensive, keeps me busy all the time. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, just last week I was like up 36 feet up in the air and everything, dude. Doing
Yeah.
True worker
Awesome.
bee. You
Yeah.
are.
Yeah, I'm loving it, dude. Happy.
Follow the hive. Worker bee.
Dude, it's been a crazy 2020 for sure. And this is a real timestamp in what the world is right now. And I do this every episode, and I think I've done it each time. But when you guys have both been on the show, I talk about the like timestamp and being like,
That's right. I do every 100th episode. 100, 200, 300.
was your last episode 100?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what you would do. Yeah, every 100th. Yeah, for real.
That's why, because Corey knows I don't do this shit. I don't
Yeah,
listen
yeah,
to
it's
podcasts.
hard, yeah, I know.
And I don't get on podcasts. Just him.
Yeah.
He's the only one.
Yeah.
So until people start really pounding down my door, which I don't know why you haven't
Yeah,
But you
come
haven't.
on, world.
Honestly,
recognized me. Come on.
I think most people around here don't know what podcasts are. Like, I think most people in this area don't listen to Mighty Podcasts. Like, I think you're in the minority, Chris. You're in the minority of like people who like listen to stuff regularly. I think I'm in that minority as well.
Check it out.
Like, I don't think a lot of people really get into podcasts that much around here. Like, I walk around. Most people I talk to don't listen to podcasts or know what they even are.
Yeah,
And most
still
people
like that.
Yeah.
It's weird because like with the amount of times, like they're popular. They are.
Right,
They are. It's not like it's not a thing. It's podcasting is a thing.
I think-
dude. Like,
I
people
think-
are making great livings off it and everything.
Like,
So,
I was on Facebook back before Facebook was as popular as it was. And when I'd hear somebody talk about Facebook, I'd be like, they're on Facebook. And it would be like just like a in the back of my head thing, like, it's growing. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Podcasting is still growing, and it isn't as popular as it will be.
I think it's still pretty damn popular.
Right.
With the effect of Joe Rogan and all, you know what I mean?
dude,
and all,
like,
I mean, dude,
people,
'cause-
$100 million.
yeah, crazy money, right?
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
He's, I mean, dude,
Had $100 million deal on Spotify.
He's loaded, and it's still his show.
It's still
It's only so it will air there. That's it. Just so it'll air. That's
starting
crazy.
December 1st. It's gonna only be
Yes, and they will for a short time continue to put clips out on YouTube, and then only like small tidbit clips like they do have, but no full episodes will be up there as of December. I think they said.
Yeah, it's all about ad revenue. So
Well, people who watch the show, their ads will go up and they'll make more money. So they're gonna bank in the long run, dude. Off him too.
Mix that with the fact that there's limitations on YouTube. That like they'll shut you down,
and the limitations got way worse.
I don't think that really has much to do with it. If you think about like when Disney bought Star Wars, all right, $4 billion. I mean, I remember thinking like, man, $4 billion. That is so hard of a hill to climb to get that money back.
Yeah.
Less than one movie, they got it back.
Well, licensing and
yeah, bro, yeah. Because there's so many characters and it's such a huge world. They have so much to make money off of.
But just think about that for a second. With one movie, they got all their investment back, and now the next. Nothing but bank, what did they release since 9 movies or?
Since they
bought it,
since Disney?
I don't think 9.
No, it's like 3 or 4.
And then Mandalorian. Which
they did the Rogue One.
Let's even say
still a decent amount, bro.
Let's say 5, right? So you've quintupled your investment.
It's even 3 or 4. Yeah,
come on, man. Like that's
and
pretty
now
good.
they're just going to do nothing but make. And not only that, it's even more like those characters that they sold rights to, they're going to get them back, and they're going to sell them again. They're going to get them back. It's like.
I've been making the prediction on Wrestle Rock for years that Disney will own the WWE. Like in the next couple years.
Why? I don't know. I think they would strive away from that because of I don't think they believe that they could get wrestlers to go Disney. If you know what I'm saying. Wrestling can. I just think they're not going to cheese it out.
Money, bro. Money.
Yeah, but I don't think they'll cheese
Fox
it out
just
that
bought
much.
SmackDown for
they're gonna
$9 billion.
Won't be wrestling if it becomes Disney. It won't. It'll become something different. It will become
it's constantly
a Disney
becoming
version of wrestling.
It's constantly becoming something different. It never stays the same.
No, I understand that. I'm just saying it won't be wrestling.
It's definitely more entertainment now than it ever was before. It's they have a studio. A recording studio.
They're actually doing
with musicians.
Yeah,
they have a film studio.
Yeah, they have their own. Yeah, they have their own movies now.
Yeah, so they definitely are doing more.
Yeah,
it's
pretty cool.
I don't know. I try to think of like the end game and what they can get from it, and I just don't know what Disney can get from it that they don't already have.
Yeah, I don't. I just see them. I just see that becoming. I mean, they already low money. I mean, what are you going to do? Take on an endeavor where they're going to have to then, like, figure out how to. Like I said, they're going to have to Disneyfy it. It's not going to be able to stay the way it is.
It's pretty close to Disney
it is,
already.
but there are certain little things that I could see.
That is for sure.
Yeah, but there are certain things I could see Disney going back on, like that dude, The Fiend. Like I couldn't see them having a character like that because in a Disney version of that,
I could see that.
Come on, don't you know Gaston? Come on, man.
I don't think they would.
I'm still subscribing to the idea that WWE or
I'm not saying it's not a possibility.
Or
I'm just saying
pro wrestling will be impacted by Disney
for them to do it
within the next couple years.
Okay,
say by 2025. Disney will own a big chunk of pro wrestling.
Okay.
I might be wrong, but
I
don't think I am going to be.
Well, then buy stock.
I might want to take that back.
Buy stock in one of them. I believe WWE is traded publicly.
Yeah.
So buy some stock. So tell me this. Next year, tell me something that you want to accomplish next year.
I want to go on a club tour, like a comedy club tour. I haven't done that.
That's something I really want to do. When the pandemic ends, I want to like actually be a touring comedian.
Okay, cool. How about you, Chris?
Get a car, dude.
You want to get a car?
Yeah, keep it simple.
Okay.
Get a car, dude.
Something. A physical object.
Yeah.
Something attainable.
Belonging.
Yeah.
That's good. Hey,
Yeah. I'm trying to keep it real. You know what I mean?
That's always been my problem my entire life is that, like, I remember I went to a management training, and they were like, well, what do you want?
Wasn't anger management?
No, it wasn't. They said, you know, what do you want? And I said, I don't. What do you mean?
What do you mean? Yeah, I've been there.
They're like,
I've
do
been there.
you want a house? Do you want a boat? I was like, I don't give a shit. I was like, I make do with whatever the fuck I have. Like, well, you got to want something. I said, oh, not monetarily. I don't know. They're like, well, that's the basis of our economy is wanting something to buy. And if you don't have that, I don't know how to help you get to where you want to go. I said, well, that's kind of my problem, brother. I don't know what the fuck I want.
It's really funny, like hearing, and still the same pitch when you talk to somebody about the movie business, when you talk to somebody about your films, and you're like, some dudes spend lots of money on a golfing habit. Like some people get a golf club, some people join a club. Mm-hmm. And like, I make movies.
Yeah,
it's like it's another thing in replacement for anybody else's material thing.
Right. Yeah.
And that started. I heard you on the phone with somebody the other day saying that exact thing. You've been saying it for the last decade.
Yep. It's true. Is the bottom line is, you know, I enjoy making movies. So I can't play basketball anymore. Can't play football. Can't box. So the thing that I enjoy doing is making movies.
Right.
Although nobody wants to pay to make movies.
That's for damn sure, right?
So because nobody wants to pay to make movies means I can't pay you to be in that movie that's not being paid to get made.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way.
Sorry. Like, but I'd love to have you if you want to go.
Because, dude, you're encouraging other creators to create with you.
Right.
And that's something that doesn't resonate with a lot of people who just have their mind on what money is.
I think that was one of the cooler parts of the experience of Bruce. Was the fact there was a bunch of people that never worked together. They got together and did something. Basically, like none of us basically almost barely like know each other too. Like, you know what I mean? It was just all people really new to each other working together.
A lot of people have reached out to us and said, how did you afford to get all those locations?
Yeah, afford what?
How did you get
afford what? Hey,
I mean,
what?
it was really good, man.
Yeah,
a lot of people.
Yeah.
So this episode of the podcast, episode 200.
200.
It's just this is still just the beginning. Steve will be on 300 and 400 and 500.
That's right.
I want to let you know it's brought to you by the 15-minute short film Bruce. If you're listening to this episode and you haven't yet watched Bruce, you can go ahead and press pause right now and click the link in the description for Bruce and check it out. Give it a like and share and
comment,
rating and comment. Honestly, man, that's the part when I was talking about the going into the 9/11 videos. That's what made me think about it, because here's what made me think about it was I always felt like disingenuous when it came to putting over on the show. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you comment, make sure you like it, because that felt like watching some one of the others
like they're just trying to sell you something and not trying to put out facts.
Here's the truth and here's the facts they're not telling you. Make sure you like the comment and make sure you like the video and subscribe in the corner to make sure You always
you're wondering what they're,
and it's like, oh, you're just clickbait.
what's your basis for this?
You're just clickbait. You're just creating content and not worried about the truth like you just said you were. It feels disingenuous to me. It feels glad-handed. It feels insincere. And I want to make sure that every single time I'm coming absolutely correct. I'm coming exactly who I am, and as sincere and as genuine and as, as authentic as possible. The genuine article, as Del Griffith has said.
Del Griffith.
You play with your balls a lot.
200.
That was a reference to Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. But I'm going to say, I'm going to give you both the opportunity to just like say anything you want to say to me, or say anything that you want on the record. Honestly, this is going to outlive us all. So,
I'm immortal.
So, start with you, Steve.
I am the beginning. I am the end. No. The things I want to say were things I've already told you in person. Great job on Bruce. It was the last thing that we did together. We are starting to work on a new project. I hope that starts going well. And, I'm proud of you as a person and how much you've grown over the last decade. And I hope to continue to do the same while you're on your journey to the next phase as well. That's all I got, brother.
Thank you. I want to also make sure to let you know that you've always been an example to me. You've always been an inspiration to me. You've always been a great friend, and I'm glad that I get to experience life with a friend as good as you.
Thanks, brother.
And getting to roast you was like one of the highlights of my life. Getting to host your birthday roast was one of my favorite things I've ever done. But and also Bruce, one of my favorite things I've ever done, honestly.
Yeah.
And I hope this is still just the beginning.
Yeah, me too. My plan is working.
As you say, I play hard, work hard, love life, and if you're feeling depressed, try microdosing. That's it.
You gotta sell your Instagram, man, for your.
Oh
Cook
yeah,
that joint.
yeah. If you want to check me out on Instagram, Cook That Joint, man. I got food up there.
Is that
I make
a thing?
edibles and stuff.
I didn't know that.
Marijuana edibles.
I didn't know.
Yeah, and also rosin.
Allegedly.
Oh, not allegedly. It's legit.
Allegedly.
But dude, like, honestly, thanks for doing this with me, guys. And if you're listening and this is the first time you checked out Evolving with Corey Castle, I doubt it. And if you've made it this far, thanks.
Keep going.
Check out the other 199 other episodes that are available wherever podcasts are. And, man, hit that subscribe button and like. Make sure you comment and tell me what kind of dream guests you'd like to have me have on the show. Because, man, I got a lot of dream guests myself. And I've had a good handful of them on the show already who I can't even believe it. So I hate sounding self-serving, but honestly, I'm very proud of me. I'm very proud of this experience. I'm very proud of the show. And I couldn't have done it without the people who invested their effort and their time. Because honestly, I say it every time. The currency that is more important than money is time and effort. And the fact that you've spent some of that on me, and if you spent 200 episodes of that on me up until this point, great. That's awesome. And if
love all 50 of you.
And if this is the future, and you're coming back and you're listening to this one, thanks for spending the effort that you've spent on me in the future, and then still coming back all the way to this.
Yeah.
Because still, honestly, this is still just the beginning. And when I first started it, somebody was like, somebody's gonna want to go back and listen to those first episodes and see what they were like. like see what the evolution of Corey Castle is, what the evolving with Corey Castle is. So even if at this point there's 15 to 50 downloads per episode, or 15 to 50 listeners, or whatever, that's just the beginning. And it's still just the beginning. And when I catch, I appreciate all you guys coming back and listening to all these shows.
There you go.
And I hope you guys always know I'm happy to be a resource for you, and don't feel like don't feel hesitant to ask me for. I mean, you guys know that.
Thank you much.
Be fun, have safe, and keep evolving.